Israel-Iran War. Full details overview. The current Israel-Iran war began on February 28, 2026, when the United States and Israel launched a coordinated military strike campaign against Iran. This represents one of the most significant military conflicts in the Middle East since the 2003 Iraq invasion and marks a dramatic escalation from decades of proxy warfare between the two nations. Timeline of key events: February 28, 2026. Day 1. Operation Launch. The United States and Israel launched simultaneous strikes against Iran-Israel, conducted decapitation strikes targeting Iranian leadership, including Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Multiple senior Iranian officials were killed. Defense Secretary Ali Khamenei, IRGC Commander Major General Mohammad Pakpour, Defense Minister Brigadier General Aziz Nasserzadeh, Iranian intelligence chief. The IDF targeted hundreds of military targets, including missile launchers across western Iran. President Donald Trump announced the operation, calling on Iranians to rise up against their regime. March 1, 2026. Day 2. Expansion and retaliation. Iran launched multiple missile barrages at Israel using EMAD, Gajr, and Khaybar-Shikan missiles. Iranian forces attacked U.S. military bases across the Middle East and Bahrain, Qatar, UAE, Kuwait, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia. The first 6 American service members were killed in Iranian strikes. Israel expanded strikes into Lebanon, targeting Hezbollah strongholds outside Beirut. Iranian Red Crescent reported over 500 people killed in Iran since the conflict began. March 2, 2026. Day 3. Regional escalation. The war dramatically expanded across the Middle East, affecting at least 9 countries. Iranian strikes hit oil infrastructure across a 1,200-mile swath from the Gulf of Oman to Cyprus. U.S. Embassy in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia was hit by 2 drones, causing limited fire and damage. UAE's Defense Ministry reported ballistic missile attacks on Dubai and Samha. 3 American F-15E fighter jets were mistakenly shot down by Kuwaiti air defenses. All 6 crew members survived. Qatar's Air Force shot down 2 Iranian Su-24 bombers. A British military base in Cyprus, RAF Akrotiri, was targeted by Iranian drones. Hezbollah joined the conflict, striking northern Israel and prompting Israeli bombardment of Beirut. Military objectives. U.S. and Israeli stated goals: destroy Iran's ballistic missile capabilities, targeting production facilities and launchers; eliminate Iran's nuclear weapons potential, preventing Iran from ever developing nuclear weapons; annihilate the Iranian Navy. President Trump claimed 10 Iranian warships had been sunk. Topple the Islamic Republic. Trump called on Iranians to overthrow their government, degrade the axis of resistance, targeting Iranian proxy groups across the region. Iranian response strategy. Retaliatory strikes against U.S. military bases across the Middle East, missile attacks on Israel, targeting oil infrastructure and shipping in the Persian Gulf. Closure. Threats to the Strait of Hormuz, a critical choke point for 20% of world oil trade. Expansion of conflict through proxy groups like Hezbollah. Casualties and impact. Death toll as of March 2, 2026. Location: casualties Iran 555 plus killed. Iranian Red Crescent, Lebanon 52 plus killed. Israel 11 killed. Gulf region 10 killed, including civilians. U.S. military 6 service members killed. Infrastructure damage. Oil refineries and facilities attacked across Saudi Arabia, UAE and Kuwait. Tehran's state broadcaster, IRIB, headquarters struck. Missile launchers and military command centers destroyed. Hospitals and civilian buildings damaged in Tehran. Dubai International Airport targeted. Qatar's LNG production halted. Key military assets and tactics. U.S. Israeli forces, B-2 stealth bombers, used to strike hardened underground ballistic missile facilities with 2,000-pound bombs. F-15E Strike Eagles. American fighter jets conducting combat missions. Advanced missile defense systems. Israel's Iron Dome and Arrow systems intercepting Iranian missiles. Iranian capabilities: ballistic missiles, EMAD, Gajr, Khaybar-Shikan, and Feta-1 missiles with ranges up to 1,200 miles. Drone attacks. Suicide drones targeting U.S. embassies and military bases. Naval forces, including the frigate Yamarem, reportedly struck. Proxy networks. Hezbollah in Lebanon. Militias in Iraq. Houthis in Yemen. Economic and global impact. Oil markets. Oil prices surged by double-digit percentages. Shipping through the Strait of Hormuz has halted. Qatar's state energy company suspended LNG production, hundreds of oil tankers anchored in nearby waters. Global travel. Major Middle Eastern airports closed. U.S. airlines canceled flights to the region. U.S. State Department urged Americans to depart from 14 Middle East countries. University closures. NYU. Abu Dhabi. Classes moved online. Georgetown, Qatar. Remote operations. Virginia Commonwealth University, Doha. Online classes. Northwestern Qatar. Remote learning. Carnegie Mellon, Qatar. Shelter in place. Political and diplomatic developments. U.S. position. President Trump stated the campaign could last 4 to 5 weeks or longer. Secretary of State Marco Rubio warned the hardest hits are yet to come. Trump hasn't ruled out deploying ground troops if necessary. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth emphasized this is not Iraq and not endless. Iranian response. Supreme National Security Council head Ali Larijani stated, Iran will not negotiate with Trump. Iran declared it has prepared itself for a long war. Leadership Council formed. President, Judiciary head, Guardian Council member to temporarily replace Khamenei. IRGC threatened to block all oil shipments through the Strait of Hormuz. International reactions. European allies initially distanced themselves from the strikes. Britain and Cyprus confirmed damage to RAF Akrotiri base. Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar actively defending against Iranian attacks. And nuclear watchdog, IAEA, reported no damage to Iranian nuclear facilities so far. Current situation, March 3, 2026. The conflict remains active and expanding. Iranian strikes on the UAE were reported early Tuesday, with ongoing attacks on U.S. assets throughout the Gulf region. Israeli forces continue striking targets in both Tehran and Beirut. President Trump has indicated the operation will continue until all objectives are met, while Iranian leadership remains defiant and prepared for prolonged conflict. The war has evolved from targeted strikes into a broader regional conflict with no clear end in sight, posing significant risks for escalation and destabilization across the Middle East.